And I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find that fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and you feel like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. We'll rise, and I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find that fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and you feel like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need, all we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, 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 we'll rise, and I'll rise up high like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Alex, I see you.
Hey, hey.
Hey, so thanks everyone for joining us today. That was beautiful, Chrissy. Didn't know that you had those pipes. That was amazing. We welcome all of you today. My name is Kay Kim, and I am a board member at Little Lights. And with me today, kind of guiding you through our hour before us, is Alex Knight, and he's a fellow board member with me. So we just want to say thank you so much. I'm watching the attendee list right now, and we're having another Zoom event, and you all are showing up. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. And you look nice, Alex. When's the last
Hey,
time you wore a
thank you.
suit? Yeah,
Likewise, it's been a while. Maybe
it's
the
been a
first time
while.
this year.
That's right. Well, we're so happy that you could join us, and as you can imagine, this is not what we were envisioning for our 25th anniversary celebration. But we are just so grateful and thankful that you could join us here today. It's a really, really exciting anniversary to be celebrating together, and we just thank you for taking this time and giving us an hour of your night, your Friday night. Not that there's a ton to be doing these days on a Friday night, but thank you for joining us. So like I said, we will be guiding you through today. And before we start off, I want to do this up front because I don't want to forget about it. And I want to make sure this happens first, which is really to thank the people who helped put this together. And there was a team of folks at Little Lights who worked tirelessly, honestly, thinking that this was going to be a live event and having to pivot and pull together this amazing event today virtually. I just want to give a shout out to Amy Leonard and to Naomi Venerable and Linda On and Sierra Peterson and Alex Frioli, all of who are probably in the background making sure this is all going to run smoothly. So thanks so much to all of you. So we're going to get started, and I think what we'll do, as in traditional Little Lights fashion, is to start us off in a prayer. So if you could just join me in praying, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, tonight we just gather before you to celebrate 25 years of what I see as truly kingdom work by what I like to think of as your love project, Little Lights. You know that we weren't expecting to be celebrating over Zoom tonight, but here we are. And as you taught us, we give thanks in all circumstances, including this one. And there's just so much to be thankful for tonight as we look back on 25 years of the impact that Steve, Mary, and this organization has made in the communities that Little Light serves. And amidst the darkness of the things around us these days, a pandemic that seems to be never ending, racial and social injustice issues, political disappointments, loneliness, and so much more. I just thank you and praise you for the bright light that you continue to shine through Little Lights. In this time of so much change, there's one thing that I know just has been so constant, and that's a positive influence that Little Lights has been making on so many. And I thank you, Lord, for your faithfulness towards Little Lights, your blessing and continued grace that you've been covering us with. And I just ask, Lord, that you be with us tonight. You be with us tonight as we celebrate. Inspire us tonight. Remind us tonight that everyone here can make an impact in this world in your name, just like Little Lights has done and continues to do. Pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thanks for opening us up in prayer, Kay. And we wanted to start off tonight by not moving past this reality that we're in, and we just want to recognize that this year has been crazy. It has been just an unprecedented year, and obviously not what we had expected for our 25th anniversary. You know, it's brought a number of challenges, but challenges that have especially impacted the children and families that we serve. Things like lack of internet access and devices that have been making it difficult for students to keep up with work in this new sort of remote learning environment. And obviously the unprecedented unemployment rates and job loss has just pushed families already experiencing poverty into more dire straits and have made just the basic provisions hard to come by. And so it's also, along with that, brought to the surface this reality of the racial division that exists and the injustice within our country, and has just awakened so many people to the need for systemic change. Thank God for that. And so the reality is that Little Lights is working on the front lines of both crises that our country is facing this year. I mean, they've been doing impressive boots on the ground work to both help and support families and students through this pandemic, as well as educating people on our racial history so that we can move towards reconciliation and equity. And so we put together a really short video about all that this year has had for us and has brought for us. And in addition to that, what Little Lights has been doing in response to that. So let's have a look at the video and we'll go from there.
There's nothing that can prepare you for what we're currently experiencing and what we've experienced for the past few months. And I think part of the challenge is not knowing when all of this will end. But definitely having that 25 years experience prepares you to expect the unexpected and to learn how to adjust and learn how to be flexible when a crisis occurs. And so
See, it's 11 times 11.
Okay, awesome. Beer check, beer check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, great.
Because of the current climate in our country, when it comes to racial justice and race relations, the popularity of the class has really grown.
No one has absolutely changed the way I think about this country's history. I have more questions, I have vexation, I have admiration for historical figures that I was either neutral about or ignorant about, and maybe some suspicions and disappointment with historical figures that I was taught to be the exact opposite. For example, Abraham Lincoln, great hero of our country, and I'm glad that he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. But the things that he said on record about Black people maybe leaving the country or just being a problem really disappointed me. And I know Blacks have been taught to put all of their eggs in that one basket. I learned things that I never knew were true, like race isn't a thing. It's not a scientific thing. It's just a social construct that we created to justify various political, economic, and social decisions. I could go on, but the succinct answers absolutely learned things that I never knew.
The first strength is that Steve Park is obviously a devout Christian, and so he is doing this. It's a hard topic, but he's really doing it from a biblical perspective. And so I really appreciated the way that he brought scripture in. Every single week he brought in scriptural references to kind of provide a foundation, a solid scriptural foundation.
And I see us expanding over time. I think one project we're excited about is there's an opportunity to expand into Ward 8. There is a building that we may have the potential to purchase. Yeah, there's still work to do on that, but that's one area we would like to grow, is to create our first sort of program site in Ward 8, as well as continue to nurture the newest site in Ward 7 near Benning Terrace. that passion for who God is and the passion that God gave me for people just has never left me. And I think it's such a gift that God has given me, and I don't take that lightly.
Alex, we're back. Hi, everyone.
Back.
Okay, that was great, and Alex, I'm amazed. I'm looking at the attendees and the participants on this, and I can't even believe it. I thought you and I were just going to be hanging out tonight with a glass of wine. So this is amazing, and I'm so excited. I can see all the people joining, and while I'm so sad that we aren't sitting in our black tie event, there's a part of this that just makes me so much happier because there's people who never would have been able to join because they're coming from all over the country to join us tonight. And so it is great. And I love that some of you are dressed up tonight, just like we are. I haven't worn a dress in over a year. So this is crazy. Well, we want to move on now to recognizing our corporate sponsors. And typically what we do is we have corporate sponsors who really support and help cover the overhead when we have these in-person events. And our team were innovative and flexible and decided, you know what, we're going to change things up, and got our corporate sponsors to generously donate this $100,000 matching fund offer today. And that is really amazing. And so we want to take just a few minutes to thank and recognize these corporate sponsors, some who've been with us for years and some who are new. So let me just walk through this real quick before we move on to the rest of our programming. First, I'd like to recognize our platinum sponsor. And you will see here, SuperTech. They are an IT engineering firm working with federal, state, and local governments. This is their third year serving as a platinum sponsor, and this is their fifth year overall as a sponsor. So thank you, SuperTech. Next, we're going to recognize our gold sponsors, the Gaskins team, one of the top real estate teams in the DMV area. We have a board member, Andy Biggers. I know you guys are sitting out there in a group celebrating together. I know, Andy, you have some friends over celebrating, and we just want to say thanks so much to the Gaskins team for sponsoring this benefit for over 8 years. So thank you so much. Next is Numa Consulting, a minority-owned small business providing consulting services to defense and intelligence agencies. This is their second year serving as a sponsor. So thank you, Numa Consulting. And then we have the Nellis Group. This is a first-time sponsor this year, so thank you. The Nellis Group is a real estate agency with a commitment to serving the community, donating a portion of every transaction they make. So thank you to all our gold sponsors. And then we have our silver sponsor and our bronze sponsor. So for our silver sponsor, we want to say thank you to Highlands Residential Mortgage, specializing in real estate loans. Highlands also has ranked #1 in best mortgage companies to work for by National Mortgage News. So thank you very much, Highlands Residential Mortgage, for supporting us and Little Lights in this event. And then last but not least, thank you so much to Inca Tech. They too are a first-time sponsor with us today. And they're a woman-owned, yay, woman-owned firm offering technology and digital services to an all-government clientele. Really, thank you so much. Thanks for flexing with us and being flexible to change in the way that we're doing this year. And we just are so grateful for your continued support. Alex?
Awesome. Thanks, Kay. And thanks again to the sponsors. This year, as Kay mentioned, since we couldn't be together, obviously we would love to be together, but that's not the case this year. As a result, we decided to up the ante with the result of several just generous donors, and obviously our corporate sponsors that Kay had mentioned helped pull together this $100,000 matching funds offer. This is the biggest ever matching funds offer that we've had in Little Lights history, which is pretty amazing. So all donations, either one-time or monthly gifts made all this week, will be matched dollar for dollar until we hit that $200,000 funds goal. And so we're gonna, I think, show on the screen just how close we are to hitting that $200,000 goal.
Wow.
Look at that! Look at that!
Look at
Wow,
that. That's amazing.
$172,000. We're getting there. As you can see, this has been an amazing week so far. What? And we are excited because we can definitely hit that goal, the rest of that $200,000 matching funds goal. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, but just wanted to give you a heads up already so you can be thinking about it, and to let you know that you can text year 25 to 44321 and receive a secure giving link right to your phone. Or if you prefer giving via computer or by check, you can visit ll25benefit.org, where you can find all the details you need
This
on
is
giving.
so going to happen, Alex. This is going to
I
happen.
love it. We're going to hit it.
40 minutes. I'm so excited.
I'm pumped. And so next up, I'm actually really excited about sharing a really special video with all of you. We've had big plans for this video in particular because it's our 25th anniversary. And while things look a little bit different this year, our fantastic videographer, Jen Rowe from EUN Creative, still brought just an incredibly beautiful picture of our 25 years and how the impact of Little Lights just continues to ripple out in such amazing ways. So hope you'll settle in for a few minutes, grab a drink. I hope you have a drink in your hand or a snack, and
Maybe
we'll watch the
grab
video.
a Kleenex. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Get ready for that. And right after the video, we'll hear directly from a few of the people that are featured in this video. So let's have a look together.
All right. Spin check, spin check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We need to try this one more time because I think we can do this and do a great job. So
Spin check, spin check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
25 does seem like a big number, you know. With Little Lights, time is sort of relative, because in some ways it feels like it went by fast. In some ways, I feel like I've lived like 5 lifetimes in the 25 years. I started Little Lights when I was 25, and I turned 50 this year. So I've been doing Little Lights exactly half of my life. We did our first camp at Potomac Gardens in 1998, so Mary was there. That was her first summer volunteering at Little Lights. And yeah, we didn't have any space to use in Southeast, but we just wanted to be able to provide a great experience and share the love of Christ with kids at Potomac Gardens.
This is my building right here. This is where it all started at. One of my favorite early memories was being on a tarp at Watkins, just being around other kids, being able to develop spiritually between the Super Soakers and going to Six Flags, and being able to just be a kid. Steve and Mary lived in this house right here. This is the house where we used to play a lot of video games. I think that's when my relationship with Steve began to form. Whether it was being at the house playing NFL Blitz, he's the reason I love Christian hip hop now.
Well, I think one of the most important programs is our mentoring program. It's that one-to-one relationship that can really transform lives, because you really get to know students more intimately when you have that one-to-one time. And that's part of why Little Lights has been committed to the same communities for a long period of time. Relationships are so important to us.
Monday through Friday, we offer lunches, snacks, like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, masks. It allows for the community members, so like my mom and how I was, to see that Little Lights wasn't like an outside source coming in to help, but rather people who cared and who wanted to be a part of the community and serve, and they cared about like you as a person.
It's not always about the numbers, the number of students we're serving, number of adults that we're serving, but are we really forming connections and changing ourselves as we're doing it as well? Are we learning from the community that we're serving?
That's what I value about Steve and Mary. They see a need, and whether that need is changes or a new need arises, they're like, how can we meet that? And how can we get other community members or other people they may know to try to meet that need?
Sierra, it's great to see when I come into her site, the kids run up to her and they hug her and they want to be with her. I love seeing that. She is so gentle. She's so bright, so intelligent, and so good at what she's doing right now.
I lead girls' night, and one of the students, when the protests, the George Floyd incident hit the news, we had girls' night that week. She was like, this is crazy. It's like the white people don't like us. And she sounded kind of defeated. And that day, we taught her the word sovereign. And we're talking about how God is sovereign, like He is all powerful. And in these times where you feel like you're weak or powerless or don't have a voice, just lean on that.
Young kids growing up right now, they already are at a 400-year disadvantage. And when you think about the fact that resources are continuously being removed, and when you were a kid and you growing up in somewhere like Potomac Gardens, and you might be walking down the steps and you might see a needle. Or when you're in a situation where you just really don't know where your next meal is coming from, how you gonna wash your clothes, you don't know where your parents are. It's not a system that's built for fathers to be in the home. Just wanna be honest about that.
There are definitely a lot of obstacles when you are living in public housing. Even with the pandemic, it just has brought out the challenges even more. I mean, not to mention the history of systemic racism that have created segregated public housing and sometimes disrepair. There are so many different obstacles that compound on top of each other that make it challenging for kids to thrive.
All these kinds of things, it creates a huge sense of heaviness and a huge sense of despair. Everybody likes to paint the inner city community as just like no one cares. No, the truth of the matter is we all care.
I'm always inspired by the resiliency of community members that hang in there, love their kids, and do the best that they can with the limited resources that they have. And we just try to come alongside and be supportive. Kids who grow up in our program will come back to us, and whether they might need a part-time job or they might need help with their resume. In some ways our primary ministry is just to be the presence and to be in relationship and be a support system.
Mary and Steve saw something in me that I didn't see in myself initially. Mary was always come, speak louder, speak up. Your opinion is valued. You have what it takes. Just being promoted, and they handed me new opportunities to lead, and has allowed me to learn that I can do this, and I do enjoy working with kids. It's just so many years. It's the era of Sierra as a student, piling into Miss Linda's van or Steve's van. It's the era of Sierra as the intern, learning how to answer a phone professionally. And then the era of Sierra as a staff, seeing all the hard work, dedication, love that it takes to run a ministry.
Steve and Mary have been a part of every major life experience, good or bad. When my grandmother passed away, Steve was there. When I graduated from high school, Steve was there. When I graduated from college, he was there. When I got married, he was there. Those are the ways that I see the caring part. Because at the end of the day, you can buy all types of things, and Little Lights provided me with my first ever laptop computer. But that pales in comparison to having them there at every point in my life.
Good to see you, man. How many countries have you been in now?
So I lived in Italy, lived in Macedonia, lived in Albania. Now China.
Yeah, I think you definitely have the most frequent flyer miles of any.
You guys are the reason. Like, you guys help me get out that comfort zone. That's in my testimony each and every year or whenever I talk to kids or talk to anybody, you know. So I definitely thank you.
Man, we're so proud of you, man. We are so proud of you. Oh, Phil, it's just amazing to see how much he's grown and changed, and just how much he's grown because he has had the opportunity to travel the world.
Just coming from where I came from, and just the journey I took, you know, like now to be in China teaching, for me to still be here and to spread and talk to people and just show them that the world is much bigger than not only Potomac Gardens, but Washington, D.C. Being able to get out my comfort zone, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I'm proud of. I'm proud of Steve. You know, I'm proud of everything he's still doing now. I'm proud of how he helped me be the young man that I am today.
Today I'm working toward my master's in education. It's so exciting to use the materials and the knowledge that I'm gaining to apply that to what I do every day at Little Light.
God has been doing some amazing things. We got an energetic 3-year-old at the house and another one on the way. And on top of that, I'm the senior advisor for the Anne Arundel County NAACP, program director at a nonprofit. My wife and I being able to be in ministry together to do kingdom things, to me, is more important than anything I can ever do on this earth.
As hard as sometimes the work can be, God's definitely instilled a lot of joy and hope. Little Lights has grown and we've changed and evolved, and I think lots of new exciting things, you know, being able to take on the Clean Green team and to start the race literacy classes, to have 13 full-time staff and 50, you know, part-time staff, to have, you know, multiple sites. Yeah, it's amazing how God has been faithful.
So today we serve about 150 students every year. We have several hundred volunteers every year. Clean Green team, this year we have 9 guys on the team. We serve several hundred customers on Capitol Hill. That's amazing to have work for the guys, and they do a great job. And then even Family Center. So last year we distributed 35,000 diapers. We help adults look for jobs, have access to computer, internet. It's great that we're able to provide more services to the entire community.
I recommend anybody come to Little Lights because this is a fun place for kids. They keep them out of trouble. They keep them out of harm's way.
If it wasn't for them, a lot of these kids would just be out on the streets doing nothing. They make sure that they have some type of structure and boundaries. Their academics have improved, their social skills, their learning, and it's just an all wonderful program, and we appreciate it.
I mean, I just want to say keep up the good work and just be strong for our community and for our children.
You know, starting out, I mean, I came 98, I was in my mid-20s, and we didn't have a whole lot. But now, I have to say, we are not doing this alone. We have a great team. You know, I want to even thank our directors, Amy and Carmen. But at the same time, like, we were supposed to celebrate this year. This is our 25th. We lost Miss Linda on our 25th anniversary, so it's been hard. We're still trying to heal from losing Miss Linda and not having Mr. Thomas around.
When we call Miss Linda Mama L, that takes on a whole new meaning because she really was a mother to me. She was always willing to listen. And so, you know, that's something I'll never forget.
But at the same time, I have to say, God has really blessed us still this year. People have been generous with their donations. Volunteers have been generous. Our staff have been amazing. So I have to say, haven't had a whole lot of time to reflect, but sometimes I think, I cannot believe we're still doing this.
To be in a position of strength and to have grown so much is miraculous, and so much to be thankful for and grateful for. And so many people have supported and volunteered. I mean, really countless people who've helped us to get to 25 years.
Special thanks to both of our families, our parents who were willing to release us to do this work for many years, and especially to our 2 kids who have put up with a lot for us doing this type of work. I have to say, they are very special, Kayla and Dylan. I'm just so amazed and so thankful. And some of it, I can't explain it except just to say, wow, God really cares a lot about Little Lights, about this community, about our staff.
So I'm very excited for what the future will bring. Yeah, the next 10, 25 years will bring where Little Lights will be. And I'm praying that, Little Lights will be around a long time and making a difference in people's lives and being a source of hope and encouragement for a long time to come.
Okay. Wow. I think we're waiting for maybe Phil to join us as well. We'll give him a minute. There you are, Phil. Okay. Wow. Welcome back, everybody. I watched that video already just to prepare myself, because anyone who knows me knows what happens when I watch videos like that. And still, I couldn't hold it together. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Let me start us out by introducing some folks who probably don't even need an introduction, because you should know them. Well, talk about inspiration. And we have Steve Park, who's the founder, Mary Park, his wife and deputy director, in my eyes, co-founders. You guys, I don't know how that video, but that was amazing. Yeah. So,
absolutely amazing.
We also have with us someone who was featured in that video, Phil Hawkins, and we're just going to take a little time now to just hear a little bit from Steve and Mary and Phil. When we put this together, Amy asked me to talk about kind of what emotions that brought up in me, and I think it's pretty obvious all of you are probably feeling the same thing, but wow, how much God loves this organization and the community. It's really amazing. And so I'm just so grateful. I should not have gone after this video. Alex should have been doing this part. Anyway, I will say, to me, the part that really stuck out the most was about the conversation about true relationships, and what a difference that makes. There's a lot of ways you can support communities like the ones that Little Light serves, but this is so special and it's so different, because it's really based on relationships. So let me get started with our kind of fireside chat here. Phil, I'm going to start with you, and this isn't on our questions, but it's a quick one for you about, just share with everybody kind of how you got involved in Little Lights. I think maybe if you can give us a little segment of that, then we can walk into all the other questions.
I mean, I've always seen them, coming around and picking kids up and taking them, and I never fully committed and just jumped in and just said, oh, well, I'll do this, until, like I always told you guys in the story, in the video, it was an incident one time, and I ended up going prior because of just, I wanted to just get away, have some fun, and going kind of changed my life. You know, me being away and not being in Potomac Gardens and being with them, it was a turning point. And so from that day forward, I knew that it was God was just, it was a message, and he was just telling me to just do something, go this way, go that route, not that route. And so from that day forward, I was just fully committed with just Little Lights and being around Steve and Murray, you know.
How old are you? Around what age?
29.
Well, how
Oh,
old were
that
you when
age,
you
okay.
first was introduced to Little Lights?
I would say, me personally, I would say 11, 12. Yeah, 11, 12, I believe.
Very impressionable. Steve and Mary, maybe you can share with us kind of some, if you have a special memory with Phil. He just said he's in his late 20s now. He was 11 when he first walked through your doors. What memories can you share with us? Steve,
I
maybe
could
you
go
can
first.
go first. Yeah.
I think I remember Phil on the basketball court, and I thought I was pretty good at basketball. And then I think when he was like 12, he could just go by me. But he would always smile afterward. He was always a good sport. But it was humbling to play with Phil, even when he was young. And I realized, my day, my time had kind of arrived, and Phil surpassed me, at a young age. And so I just remember he always smiled. I kind of saw him as like a smiling assassin, because he would always he'd always be good natured, but on the court he would just mess me up. So I think those are the fondest memories.
So my memory is I remember watching a game that Phil was playing, a basketball game, and the team was started by Little Lights in another church. And Steve happened to be the sub coach for that game. And the team, they were losing pretty badly, very badly, that some of the players decided to stop playing. They were, cursing, trying to fight. And I just remember Phil, just continued to play. And he did not lose it. He was still cool on the court. He did not, get angry and upset. And I just remember that about Phil and thinking, wow, that's a great character. That's really cool that he was able to not get angry and upset while the rest of the team members, I think including Steve, got upset. So that's my memory of Phil.
I don't remember that.
That's funny. Both very fond memories related to basketball. So Phil, maybe you can share with everybody kind of how your life evolved, and tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since you have become a grown man, and kind of where your life has led you and where you are today.
I mean, growing up being with Little Lights and just, Camp Hope and Camp Heaven, and, being away and just seeing a different side of life I kind of had that in me. So I was eager to get out and experience more and see more of just the world, So that helped me to just want to travel and go to Texas for college, and, go to Europe and go to Asia, and just, I always kept that thing where it was never about me, God first, show love, always make sure, love to see smiles on other people's faces and things like that. So, it carried me different places, and it always opened new doors for me. Like every chapter of my life, me just carrying over the traits that Little Lights have showed me opened so many doors for me. And, I'm just blessed to just be that I was put in that situation, and that I experienced and been through a lot of the things that I've been through. Now, I'm in Illinois, currently waiting for the border to open back up so I can head back to China, which the border opens back up this Sunday. Thank God. He's right there. And so I've, probably be leaving in the next week or month. But it's
share
crazy
with
because
everyone
how
what you're doing in China right now.
in China
what
right
you'll
now,
be
I work
doing.
for a company called USBA. I work for a company called USBA. I teach basketball to over 530 kids I have under my belt that I have full responsibility for, ages 3 through 18.
Wow.
So
Sounds like Little Lights
actually
is really
stay in contact with them now.
Sounds like Little Lights has really inspired kind of your career choices and your path.
For sure, a lot. And that's what I was going to get into. The next thing is, like right now, I'm working at a school. I just started work this Monday, and at a high school, and basically, I'm the teacher's aide, teacher's para, but my job is to really keep kids focused, get them going, get them locked in, show them that it's more to life, you know. So everything is just jumping onto this line of what Little Lights installed into me, you know.
Wow. Steve, it sounds like a lot of what Phil is talking about is just kind of modeling what he learned from you all through that program. Did you, when you first started Little Lights, did you ever imagine the type of impact you would be having on so many children and families?
You know, I definitely was not thinking, oh, what is life going to be like 25 years from now, or what's the impact going to be 25 years when I first started. I think I just felt compelled because God had showed me so much love and compassion that I really was compelled to share it. You know, when you experience love like that, you want to share it. And so I had no idea what my life would turn out to, or what Little Lights would turn out to be. I just wanted to be obedient and faithful to share what I received. And so I really couldn't have imagined, you know, where we are now and what God has brought us through over the past 25 years.
That's
But
amazing.
it's so great to hear from Phil and see Phil, and those videos of him working with kids is just, you know, it just makes me so proud and melts my heart. I mean, I'm so proud of Phil. Amazing.
Yeah, and Sierra and Dwayne, who were also featured in there, all prior members of the program and now serving in the way that they do. Phil, I want to try to wrap this up quickly just to stay on time, but you mentioned in your video that you were proud of Steve. Like I saw it right there, like I'm proud of Steve. Do you want to just say really quickly, like what are you proud of? I mean, there's so much to be proud of, but I'd love to hear it from your perspective.
So let me rephrase that. I'm proud of Steve and Murray. Let me put it that way. Just the growth and the things that they have done. You know, I remember seeing them from the very beginning, the bottom, starting from just Wednesday nights and, you know, 6 kids, and to now it's like an empire, and it's an empire of saving lives. Whether like that's the best way I can put it, you know, just brightening people's hearts. And that's something that I'm mostly proud of both of them about, because they stayed the course. You know, it's hard to stay that course. A lot of people they do it for a short period of time, sorry, and then they kind of, you know, they dip and dab in different things, but they stayed the course. They stayed where they needed to be at, and just happy for them.
That's amazing. Wonderful words of encouragement that Phil just gave to you, Mary. Maybe we can wrap this up with some encouragement that you can give back to Phil. Even grown-ups need encouragement, so maybe we can wrap this portion up with that.
Well, I was so excited to see that Phil is working with kids. I was really surprised, actually. I just want to say, gosh, Phil, watching the videos of you working with the kids and the pictures, they love you. And you are so good with them. You're better than Steve and myself. I mean, you're so good that I hope that you continue to work with the students, work with the kids, and continue to follow your dreams and never give up. And you're still very young, and I'm just inspired and excited for you.
Well, thanks so much, you all.
Definitely
I think we
appreciate
could
it.
have gone on forever listening to all three of you, but for each
Yes.
of you, continued inspirations for all of us. And thank you so much for serving on this panel, but also just thank you for all that you're doing. Phil, thanks for continuing to be an amazing model, a man of faith among so many children. And Steve and Mary, our gratitude is so deep, I don't even know how to express it. So thank you all. Alex, I'm going to pass this over to you now.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kay. Wow. Thank you for leading that conversation. I'm kind of speechless. I don't know about you, but I'm just so incredibly moved by the past few minutes and hearing, from hearing Phil's story about his leadership and teaching 500 kids internationally, much of which as a result of his proximity to the Little Lights program over the years. And that video, I am grateful that I had a few minutes to recover from that.
Lucky you.
Wow. What an incredible story of 25 years of impact in the community, hearing just about, folks like Miss Linda, who was just an anchor to the community and to the Little Lights family, and just a mother figure to so many people. And then obviously hearing more from Steve and Mary, and just about their relentless just commitment to seeing a need and then finding a way and making a way to meet those needs. I'm just so incredibly moved. And so as we're kind of wrapping up the evening, as we mentioned before, we have a matching funds offer on the table, $100,000. It's the largest match we've ever been able to put up. And we're so grateful that we can say that even in this year, in the middle of a global pandemic, we've raised the largest matching offer that we've raised in history. And so if we hit that goal, we will raise $200,000, another groundbreaking moment, because if we hit this $200,000, it would be the highest amount of any benefit in our 25-year history. And so we're going to take a moment now just to check in on exactly,
I think we're pretty close,
where we are. I feel like we're close. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Here we are, just about at $192,000. Only a few minutes ago, we were at $170 something thousand. Incredible support pouring in. As you've seen just throughout this night, we've continued to, Little Lights has just continued to meet the needs and to work in greater ways than we have before. And this year in particular, it's prompted us to just dig deeper and to reach farther and to work harder. And so all of the generosity, all the generous gifts that's flowing in tonight, it will directly fund our work in 3 specific areas that I just want to call out. It's going to directly impact the academic and material support that's provided to both students as well as families. It's going to impact the racial justice efforts that the organization continues to roll out, including their Race Literacy 101 course that actually, we didn't mention this before, but I'm a part of this cohort. I think Kay and I are both in the same cohort
it's so
for
good.
this year. Just absolutely incredible. I'm learning so much. So it's going to go towards their continued racial justice efforts. And lastly, it's going to go towards the expansion of a new site into Ward 8 by early next year. And as you've heard tonight, so exciting. And as we've heard, just as a recap in different times throughout the night, Little Lights is just working hard to meet the needs of the entire community. We have been doing this for 25 years, and particularly this year, we've looked at doing this in a number of fresh new ways. They've made virtual tutoring actually work for more than 500 one-to-one tutoring sessions since March alone. They'll be starting an in-person socially distanced learning hubs next week to make sure that students aren't left behind. And they've been able to reach more than 400 people this summer and fall, again, through the Race Literacy 101 course. And that's just the beginning. They're looking to do more. They're looking to open up this new site in DC's Ward 8, which is just the most impoverished and under-resourced area of DC. And again, it's people like you who have allowed Little Lights to get to year 25. More than 60% of our annual revenue each year comes from individual donors. And so every gift, every donation makes a difference and equips Little Lights to keep pressing on. So I want to invite you to not miss this opportunity to join with us today as we in that life-giving work. And so if you text year 25 to the number 44321, as you can see on the screen here, you'll get a prompt to a secure giving link that'll go right to your phone. Or again, if you prefer giving by computer or by check, you can visit ll25benefit.org for the details on that. And we'll just give you 2 to 3 minutes now to take the
Doesn't
time.
want to be a part of this after this
Yeah,
evening. And any
absolutely.
amount is appreciated, whatever works with each of you.
Big and small, every gift, every donation counts. It's all going towards this life-giving work of Little Lights. So we'll give you a few minutes now to give.
And usually right about now during the auction, someone's yelling, "Do it for the kids." So let's just throw that out there.
I actually gave during the video, and I used my iPhone right here with Apple Pay. It was the quickest donation I've ever given. So shout out to Apple Pay.
That's awesome. I just texted my husband, "Do it now." Hopefully he was able to. As we're waiting for this, I will just share that we'll go off script a little bit, Alex, but there's so many things just that we're a part of in our lives. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm just like, why? I'm not really understanding the purpose of some of the things I'm doing. This is the one area where I never question it. Always feels so right. When I show up to a board meeting, when I'm doing something like this, asked to host a Zoom event, just, not always exciting to do, but it just is immediately, you just want to say yes, because everything feels so right. So I really, if you've never been, if this is your first time being introduced to Little Lights, we hope that you join us and be a part of this, because it's just amazing. It's an amazing organization just doing the right thing.
That's awesome. I love that, Kay. I couldn't agree more. The donations that I've given over the years and the involvement, the investment of time has never been an obligation for me. I'll never forget one of the board members, Jake Thompson, who's a friend of mine, who invited me to the first Little Lights breakfast a couple of years ago. And just being able to learn from the folks that went through Little Lights that are now leading in so many different areas. It's just, it's never been a chore. It's never been an obligation for me. And it's just, it's amazing just to continue to see the life-giving work of Little Lights over the years. So as we wrap things up tonight, I want to say thank you again for the folks that have donated so far. Thank you to all of us, to all of you for joining. The numbers are still coming in here, and just amazing. Okay, we're at $195,000. I am blown away.
It's so fun to watch the numbers moving. And just a reminder that, we're really hoping to hit this tonight, but if you are tied up, making dinner, doing whatever, we'll keep this open, I think through tomorrow. So this will still keep going. Help us reach our monumental amount today of hopefully over $200,000. And look at these numbers still moving. I think at this point, are we, Amy, I'm sorry, I think we should be wrapping up. I see we're at the 8:30 mark. We promised that we would keep this a 1-hour event. And so we want to thank every single person who dedicated their Friday evening to spend it with us today. I hope you were inspired. I hope you felt the presence of God. And I hope you just get as excited and passionate as the rest of us here to be involved with an organization like Little Light. So as we bring the others up on the screen, we just want to say thank you again, and God bless all of you. And I think that's it. And I have a feeling by the time an email summary goes out following this event, we're all going to see that we've hit our number. So congratulations to everybody. And thank you so much for your generosity.
Thanks, everyone.
Everybody, thanks, everybody. Great to
Thank
be
you
with
guys.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Kay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Alex.
Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
What a fun Friday.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
So Phil, they opened
Bye,
the
Phil.
border,
Be,
huh?
be safe in China.
Yes, have a safe trip back.
Wear your mask.
But I'll try to. China has been open back to normal 2 months after we left. We left in February and they were back to life in April. End of April, they were back to normal.
Wow.
Wow.
And what
So-
city will you be going back to?
I'm going back to my same city, Xi'an. And my girlfriend will be going back to Shenyang.
I know
Is she
you have
going
your
back
favorite
too?
eating spot too there, right? You have your favorite eating spot over there.
Hot pot. Look, as soon as I get back, I'm going straight to hot pot.
Yum. That sounds good. I bet those kids missed you. They'll be so excited to see you.
Yeah, I wish I was able to be there because right now they're in class right now, actually.
Oh, really?
And I wish I was able to be there and we could have did this, and it would have been awesome.
Oh, wow.